Dear friends, I wanted to actually discuss this particular topic, miracles, through this YouTube channel of mine. And in case you like this after it's over, please like it, please subscribe for my channel and also share it. Now, when we talk about miracles, the very first thing that most of us would be thinking, do miracles really happen? Is there anything called miracle? I mean, why do people talk about sometimes miracle? Why does the doctor come and say sometimes, only a miracle could save your patient? Please pray to God. Like, there is a connection. He says only a miracle could save the patient, and probably please pray to God. Please increase your prayers. Please go on to ask Him for more and more and more mercy. So there is a connection. Miracles definitely do happen, and there is a connection that it's divinity which makes the miracles happen. It's God's power, it's the supreme power, it's nature's supremacy that makes miracles happen. Right, having said that, most of us have experienced this too. And one thing that we try to confuse sometimes is the difference between a miracle and a wonder. Wonder is altogether a different thing. I mean, like world's wonders, and that's wonderful. I mean, miracle is not of any particular size. It could be just getting a good meal the next time when you ask for it. I mean, you really wanted it and you got it. That could be just a simple good meal, to probably a life saved also, probably in an accident, probably in a surgery, whatever. So miracles do not have size. I'd like to remember my dad here, who always used to tell us, all the kids, that people do not believe in miracles and they say it's coincidence. And he goes on to add, I mean, even if you have to say it's a coincidence and if it's not a miracle, okay, fine, forget it. But why do you need to say it's a coincidence? Why can't you say it's God's grace? I mean, unquote. All right, now I come to a story here. I heard this and it's one of the most popular stories circulating in WhatsApp. All credits to them. And I also read in so many of my groups, and I have also gone through it. And I mean, I have read it so many times and I've really liked it. I'm impressed with the story. The story goes like this. There is this major leading a contingent, a small battalion of about 16 soldiers, 17 soldiers, probably with him it's 18. The 18 of them are marching towards a post where they would be attending to some kind of surveillance operations for the next 3 to 4 months. And they're supposed to go and relieve the people who are already there. And they're walking uphill. And they have been walking uphill, and probably it's a hilly terrain with chillness all around. And it's probably the evening time when the major, when he turns back and looks at his people, he could clearly read their minds that they all feel that one hot cup of good tea would do them a lot of good, because they have got another 2 to 3 hours to reach the post. The major looks at them, but then he's also kind of helpless. So the major goes on to pray for it, and once again, I mean, probably he is very pious. I mean, they start climbing. At one point of time, they clearly see a tea shop's board. I mean, the world is there for them. They see the board of the tea shop, and it's very clearly written it's a tea shop. But then when they go close to the board, I mean close to the shop, they find the shop locked from outside. Now, it's excitement, very short-lived, and they are put to so much of disappointment. And there is one thing going on in the minds of all the soldiers, and probably one of the soldiers spells it out. He says, probably there is a chance that the owner has closed the shop a little early today and has gone back home. But there are chances that there are materials for making a tea inside, and we all are probably very good at making tea. And if you could give permission, I mean, he was asking permission for an unethical act of breaking the lock and going inside, for which the major had to probably think more than twice, and finally nods his head. So they break open the lock, they go inside, and as predicted by that particular soldier, they find all the materials for making tea inside the shop, with everything literally, and they all have hearty 1 cup, 2 cups, and sometimes some people 3 cups of hot tea, and there were some biscuits and cookies. They had all that. I think they almost emptied the whole shop, as it could be said. Now they were ready for the march, and they had to just start walking again. And the major looked at all their happy faces and neatly pulled out his wallet, and he pulled out 5 2,000 rupee notes from the wallet, because this particular act, he was going to be in a post for next 3 to 4 months where he would not even be spending probably 1 rupee. So I don't know what made him do that, but he pulled out 5 2,000 rupee notes and just put it under the sugar pot. And they came out. The major instructed them to close the shutter. They closed the shutter. They also made sure that the lock was again fastened there, probably in a manner for people not to misuse it. And they started walking again. They went to their post. They relieved the people who were there, and they started happily, doing the greatest service that all our soldiers do. Salutes to them, the real heroes, the real heroes for our life, whose work makes us sleep, have a peaceful sleep at nights, and the warriors of our country, probably those whose lives are sacrificed for making our lives comfortable. All right, let's come back to the story where the soldiers finish off their 3 to 4 months of duty there, and it's time for them to return to their base. They start walking down, and then on their way they again spot the tea shop, and this time the tea shop is open. And they definitely would have wanted to have a cup of tea, so all of them go inside the tea shop. And there's an old man making tea, and he serves them all good tea, and they really appreciate it. And the major starts talking to the tea shop owner. Saab, aap to itne din idhar hain. You've been here for such a long time. Kaisa aapka guzara chal raha hai? How is your, business? Says, God is great, God is great, God is great, Alhamdulillah. He says, probably a Muslim. He says, God is great, God is great, God is great, and my business is going on well, and I'm able to make my family live happily. Then one of the soldiers sarcastically says, if God was so great, why would He have made you make this tea at this age of yours? The major gives him a stare and says, please. And then the mahol is cool and calm, and the major goes on to say, kuch to bolo, narrate some incidents in your life. Saab, main to ek incident bolunga. I'll tell you one incident. That particular day, I got a call from one of my relatives saying that my son is hospitalized. I just closed my shop, I put the shutters down, I didn't know what to do. I rushed to the hospital. He had met with a very bad accident, and doctors told me that his condition is very critical, and they prescribed me immediate medicines to be given. And when I rushed to the pharmacy said it might cost more than about 7,000, 8,000. And then, I was just not knowing what to do. I said, let me go to the tea shop and let them see whether I had left any money there, at least 1,000, 2,000 rupees. I rushed back to my tea shop. I saw the lock broken. I came inside and said, oh, everything else is gone. Even what was left in the kala is also gone. So, abhi kya karenge? So he went inside. I came inside. Sab, you will not believe. I saw 10,000 rupees, 5 2,000 rupee notes under the sugar pot. Sab, God had broken the lock. He walked into my shop, and he had kept those 5 2,000 rupee notes under the sugar pot. The old man couldn't control his tears, and the entire battalion was moved, and the remaining 17 pairs of eyes were looking at the 18th pair, the major's eyes, and believe me, probably all their eyes were as moist as it could be probably of us who are listening to this. And Major very clearly, very strongly, very vehemently told the old man, the tea shop owner, Hanji, you are absolutely right. It's God's grace. It's God's absolute grace that God walked into your shop that particular day, and God has kept that money for you for the treatment of your son, because of which your son has been saved. He said, yes, sir, my son is hale and healthy now. That particular day I took that money, gave the medicines, and my son is saved and he is perfectly leading a very, very happy life now. So all the soldiers started walking back, and with still their hearts thinking about how the tea shop owner said it was a miracle, and it's God, it's his faith in God that made his son get saved the day, and it's a miracle that had happened to him. So my dear friends, it was just an act of being compassionate. The major felt that he should do something for having broken the lock open and probably having had their tea thirst quenched, and he kept 10,000 rupees, and that went on to save a life. It's being compassionate. So my dear friends, wherever it's possible, possibly when we go park our car and then that guy says, go inside the restaurant, we come back, we give him a 20 rupee note. I mean, we see a smile on his face and he puts a salam and then says reverse and then go. Just a very small act of kindness. It's being compassionate, and miracles do happen in everybody's life. And let's strengthen our belief to have it happen in our lives also. The belief does wonders, and miracles do keep happening. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you very much.